The House today voting in favor of an amendment to prevent President Trump from taking military action in Iran. The amendment to the National Defense Authorization Act would block funding U.S. military action against Iran unless Congress has declared war or enacted specific authorization. Joining me now is former Army Intel and Special Operations soldier Brett Velicovich. So, Brett, I want to look at the bigger foreign policy picture, if you don't mind, particularly since Joe Biden was just touting his foreign policy record this week. Iran is just one of the messes President Trump is trying to clean up from the previous administration. I just want to go through. We mentioned Iran. Let's go to ISIS next, because this was a horrific terrorist organization that President Obama called a JV team, essentially let them alone so they could build up their horrible forces and particularly their presence in Syria. It was Trump who had to come in and wipe them off the map.
Exactly. And Biden could barely even pronounce ISIS. I mean, he's taking credit for something that essentially Trump saw through the finish line. I mean, you know, the Obama administration, they wanted to conduct action against ISIS and root them out. But the problem was that they pulled us out of Iraq too soon. And I was there. I remember that time when we sat there and we saw what ISIS could become. We still saw them basically hiding out because, one, the Obama administration signaled that we were going to leave. And so essentially when U.S. troops left, they were able to take over. And I think that was one of the major problems. And so the Trump administration has actually, you know, got it done and got the caliphate wiped off the face of the earth. There's still remnants of ISIS, but they're nowhere near the strength they used to be.
And then there's the place that ISIS used to hang out, which is Syria. We remember President Obama painting that red line. Well, let's play the tape and get your reaction.
We have communicated in no uncertain terms with every player in the region that that's a red line for us, and that there would be enormous consequences if we start seeing movement on the chemical weapons front or the use of chemical weapons.
So Syria walked right over that red line, and there were no consequences, whereas a very similar thing happened shortly after Trump came in office, and then came the Tomahawks.
Precisely, and that's the thing here, is that we basically, when Obama sat there and said that we were going to do something if they released chemical weapons, and we didn't, we look foolish, we look weak. And so we've got this mess because we allowed these organizations, these groups to masticize. We allowed the Syrians, we allowed Russia to come in there, the Iranians to come into Syria and prop up the Syrian regime. And now we've got another mess still there to fix. Syria is an absolute mess, and it's a perfect example of why we need to show strength when it comes to the Middle East.
And then, of course, the biggest country in the world population-wise, China. For decades, China was getting away with murder, not only in terms of their economic policy, which the president is trying to turn around through his new trade deal with them, but militarily moving in on places where they shouldn't have been. This administration is trying to turn it around. The last administration did next to nothing against them.
Right. Well, the Chinese have been economically at war with us for years. I mean, look, from a cyber standpoint, from an intelligence perspective, they've been stealing our intellectual property. That is absolutely war, but they're a lot more sneaky about it. And you know, they're building up their military capability. They're building up their artificial intelligence. They have AI farms that are out there that are basically, you know, they believe, the Chinese government, that whoever controls AI controls the world. And so we're finally doing something about that, which for decades we've simply left unchecked because the administration before didn't want to do anything about it. So Trump is actually trying to do something here.
And finally, Russia, the country that was supposed to be motivating President Trump to do anything they wanted to do. In fact, we remember the time when President Obama tapped their president on the knee and said, "Tell Vlad that once I'm reelected, everything will be okay." They waltzed, shortly after that, they waltzed right into the Crimea, took it over. We did absolutely nothing. And this president comes in and he actually takes them on in places like Syria, where we wiped out a lot of Russian mercenaries.
Right, exactly. And Russia was more and more emboldened, especially when President Obama leaned over and told the previous Russian president that he'd have more ability to work with them during the second term. And that, of course, made them think that they could get away with a lot of this, you know, working to disrupt our political campaigns and our election cycle. And they've become more and more emboldened around the world, and we've basically left them unchecked. They're sitting there in Venezuela. They're in Syria. They want to break these alliances that we have with a lot of these different countries. And so finally, we're looking at doing something here about it.
Yeah, we're finally getting some work done. Brett, good to see you. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.